Right now, as you are watching this, a dangerous storm train is loading up across the United States, and it is not going to stop for 7 straight days. Over 50 million Americans are in the path. And here is the question you need to answer before this video is over. Is your city on the list? Stay with me, because in the next 60 seconds, I am going to show you the exact cities, the exact days, and the exact hours these storms will hit. And if you stick around to the 5-minute mark, I'm going to break down the one day this week that has me the most concerned for violent tornadoes. You do not want to miss that. Let us start right now with what is already happening. A winter storm is pushing through the mid-Atlantic and Northeast as we speak. If you are anywhere from Washington, D.C. up through Baltimore, Philadelphia, Trenton, Newark, or New York City, you are waking up Tuesday morning to a wintry mess. Snow, sleet, and freezing rain are moving through between 6 a.m. and 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We are talking 1 to 2 inches of snow mixing with ice from the D.C. metro area through northern New Jersey. But here is the twist most people are not expecting. The bigger problem is not the snow, it is the ice. South central Pennsylvania, including Harrisburg, State College, and Chambersburg, along with the mountains of West Virginia, including Elkins and Snowshoe, and western Maryland around Cumberland and Frostburg, you are looking at a 1/10 to a 1/4 inch of ice accumulation overnight tonight into Tuesday morning. That is enough to make every road a skating rink and knock out power in isolated spots. Now, further north, this storm has more to give. Albany, you could pick up 1.5 inches of snow. The Hudson Valley from Poughkeepsie up through Kingston expect a coating to 2 inches. Vermont, New Hampshire, and the down east areas of Maine from Burlington to Concord to Bangor, you are in the bullseye for 1 to 3 inches, with some pockets trying for 4 to 5. But here is the good news. This snow is going to melt fast. By Tuesday afternoon, warm air surges in from the south and temperatures climb quickly. So if you are driving on Interstate 81, Interstate 95, or Interstate 79 on Tuesday, slow down, give yourself extra time, and you will be fine. But do not get comfortable, because while winter is making its last stand in the Northeast, spring is about to explode across the middle of the country. And I mean explode. By Wednesday, temperatures across the Ohio Valley and the Southern Plains are going to surge 20 to 30 degrees above average. We are talking low 80s in Dallas, mid 70s in Oklahoma City, upper 70s in Memphis and Nashville. Even Columbus, Ohio and Indianapolis could flirt with 70 degrees in early March. That is not normal. That is fuel. That is jet fuel for severe thunderstorms. And that brings us to the storm train. Do not skip ahead, because I am about to walk you through every single day, city by city, hour by hour, Wednesday. This is where the storm train officially begins. A shortwave trough digs into the southern plains, pulling massive amounts of Gulf moisture northward. A quasi-stationary front drapes across North Texas and Arkansas. By 7 p.m. Central Time, convective available potential energy values hit 2,000 joules per kilogram around Dallas. That is enough to fuel scattered supercells. Here are the cities under the gun on Wednesday: Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, Plano, Garland, Irving, Waco, Temple, Killeen, Denton, McKinney, and Sherman in Texas, Fort Smith, Fayetteville, Bentonville, Russellville, and Jonesboro in Arkansas, and the Choctaw Nation area of Oklahoma, including Durant and Hugo. Over 8 million people are inside this risk zone. The primary threats are large hail, possibly tennis ball size, and damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour. Storms fire between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. Central, peak between 7 p.m. and 11 p.m., and push east through the overnight hours. Thunder will roll as far north as Cincinnati, Indianapolis, and St. Louis, and as far south as Austin and San Antonio. Now here is something you need to hear. Wednesday is just the warm-up act. Do not miss what comes next. Thursday, a dry line sets up across the western plains, and this is where things get more dangerous. This setup is unusual for March, and that is exactly why it is concerning. Unstable air collides with a dry, cool air mass, and storms will explode along that boundary. Thursday is bullseye cities: San Angelo, Abilene, Wichita Falls, and Midland, Odessa in Texas. Lawton, Chickasha, and Oklahoma City in Oklahoma. Amarillo and Lubbock on the western edge. Surface dew points climb into the upper 50s and low 60s. Deep layer wind shear is stronger than Wednesday. Mid-level lapse rates are steeper. What does that mean in plain English? It means the atmosphere is wound up tighter, and when it releases, it is going to produce supercells capable of tornadoes. Over 1 million people are in this risk zone. Storms initiate between 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. Central along the dry line, peak between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m., and continue into the early morning hours Friday. But remember what I promised you at the 5-minute mark? Here it is. Friday is the day that has me losing sleep. Friday. This is the day I am most confident we will see violent supercells. A strengthening mid-level jet screams across the plains, providing the lift, the shear, and the dynamics for a potentially significant, severe weather event. 15 million people are inside a massive risk corridor stretching from Dallas through Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Wichita, Kansas City, Topeka, and all the way into southern Iowa, including Des Moines. Here is how Friday plays out. Supercells fire between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. Central ahead of the main system. There is a small but critical window where discrete supercells form before everything merges into a giant squall line. Those supercells will be more than capable of producing strong tornadoes, possibly long-track tornadoes. By evening, the storms transition into a bowing line segment with damaging winds potentially exceeding 80 miles per hour. And it does not stop there. As the low-level jet ramps up overnight, more tornadoes are possible inside the line, especially as it moves into populated areas like Tulsa, Joplin, Springfield, Missouri, Kansas City, and the Jefferson City corridor. If you live in Oklahoma City or Tulsa, prepare for a long-duration event. Storms could initiate mid-afternoon Friday and not fully exit your area until Saturday morning. That is 12 to 15 hours of active weather. Do not let your guard down when you go to sleep. And now the part nobody wants to hear. Saturday, it happens again. The cold front sags back southward into the Ozarks and the southern plains. Dallas-Fort Worth is under a severe weather threat for the third consecutive day. Saturday, SE storms lean more toward damaging winds and large hail rather than tornadoes, but we absolutely cannot rule out a tornado or two. Cities in the crosshairs again include Dallas, Fort Worth, Waco, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Fort Smith, and Little Rock. Now let me talk about something that could be just as dangerous as the tornadoes, and that is flooding. Every single one of these storm systems is going to dump heavy rain on the same areas day after day, training thunderstorms over drought-hardened soils that cannot absorb water fast enough. The latest rainfall forecast shows a bullseye of 7 inches or more around Dallas, extending up through Tulsa and Fort Smith. A large area from northeast Texas through Arkansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio, and West Virginia could see 2 to 5 inches total. We are talking about flash flooding across the Ozarks, the Arkansas River Valley, and the Ohio Valley. Cities that need to prepare for flooding include Little Rock, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Springfield, Missouri, St. Louis, Evansville, Louisville, Lexington, Charleston, West Virginia, and Columbus, Ohio. If you live near a creek or a stream that tends to rise, do not wait for the warning. Have your plan ready now. Here is what I need you to do. Over the next 7 days, you are going to receive multiple flash flood warnings, multiple severe thunderstorm warnings, and multiple tornado watches. 3 straight days of severe weather in the same region is exhausting. Alert fatigue is real and it is dangerous. Do not let your guard down on day 2 or day 3 just because you survived day 1. Every warning matters. Make sure your phone is charged. Make sure your weather app notifications are on. Know where your safe room is. And here is something exciting that is developing beyond this week. Around 10 days from now, roughly March 10th through the 15th, the models are showing signals for a much more powerful storm system crossing the entire country from west to east. We are talking about a potential clash between a massive cold air intrusion from Canada and all of this warm, humid air that has been building. That could mean another round of severe weather on the warm side and possibly significant winter weather returning to the Midwest, the Plains, and even the Great Lakes and Northeast. I will be breaking that down in detail in my next video. You are going to want to see that one because if the models are right, it could be one of the most impactful storm systems we have seen this season. Now, one more thing. I know I covered a lot of cities today, but I also know there are hundreds of towns and communities I did not mention by name. So here is what I want you to do. Drop a comment right now with the city or town where you live. I read every single comment and I will do my best to give you a specific forecast for your area in the next video. Whether you are in Tupelo, Mississippi, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Bowling Green, Kentucky, or Rapid City, South Dakota, tell me where you are and I will make sure you are covered. This is shaping up to be one of the most active stretches of weather we have seen in years. Do not take any of it lightly. Thank you for watching. Share this video with someone you care about who lives in the storm zone this week. They need to see this before Wednesday hits. And I will see you in the next one, where we break down that monster system developing for the middle of March. Trust me, you are going to want to see that.